everybody. Welcome and thank you for being here. Be warned though, I'm hurt and angry, but too hurt and angry to actually talk about it because for sure I'll say something I should not say. So rather let's get straight into today's video. First, I want to answer a question. No, I'm not protecting Andrew, nor am I fighting for him or anything else. But what I can tell you is that I'm up to the gills, sick and tired of double standards, particularly under the law, in politics, among the royals, and yes, in everyday life. 100% sick of it. Where's the bloody King of England? The man, flesh and blood, just like you and yours. Why don't you banish him for sleeping with multiple women and cheating on his wives, more than one? Why don't you banish him for having been close friends with Savile, Ball and Van der Post? Why don't you banish him for interfering in politics? Why don't you banish him for selling official gifts which should have gone into the registry? Why don't you banish him for causing the death of a friend? Why don't you banish him for the multiple cash for honours so-called scandals? Why don't you banish your king for protecting Islam in Britain, a Christian country? And those are only a few of his sins. You want to revel in stories about Andrew wanting his teddy bears in a certain order? Well, why not revel in stories of a man travelling with his own toilet seat? You want to banish Andrew for yelling at workmen? Well, why not banish the king for telling a gardener to never bring another one in front of him ever again just because he did not know something about a certain plant? I think Michael Colburn, if not dead by now, which I think he may be, but even for him, Charles's most loyal, or one of his most loyal servants, although he hasn't worked for him for many, many years, the shouting got too much, even for Colburn. I mean, if we could ask Colburn about Charles, then he would have told us about Charles throwing Diana's wedding ring at him, how Charles spent 15 minutes kicking furniture and shouting at him, thinking those were the only ones, the only incidents. Really? No. Did we not see how he grimaced about having a pen or something removed from a desk? He couldn't just say, "Could you please take this?" No, he had to shake and pull his face, because that is what he's done all his darn life, and worse. The current king is the most entitled, bad-mannered oaf of all the Queen's children. But for years and years and years he had presented a persona in public which is far removed from who he really is. And regardless of what is coming out now, people still prefer to believe that he is this very nice old man who talks to plants. No, he is not. He is spiteful and vindictive, and his manners, when not in public, leaves much to be desired. In his slightly younger years, but not too many moons ago, his staff turnover was almost worse than Meghan's. Calls early in the morning, 11 o'clock at night, even weekends. He did it all, and he is still doing it. So why not banish King Charles? That is why I stand up for Andrew. Well, not really, because I do not actually give a fig about Andrew. But what I do care about is what Charles is doing and has been doing to the British people. And what I care about is fairness. So if you want to banish one, then banish the other. And then along with them, banish hundreds of other men who had multiple bed partners and those who are rude. And for that, you can start right here on my channel. So no, I do not care about Andrew. I have no links or any affiliations with him, his daughters, or anyone working for him at all. Never met him, never saw him in real life, zilch. But what I am saying, and will be saying again, is what is good for the goose is good for the gander, or it should be the case. And as Prince and now King Charles, he is doing more harm to the country than Andrew. So if you want to banish Andrew from the church or the palace or even the country, then send his brother first. How's that? Okay, now my rant is over. Now I have a question for you. I'm going to tell you a factual story, and I want you to tell me how you feel about it in the comment section. And I do apologize, I have hay fever and the sneezes, so I may sound a little off. Anyway, in 1981, the Queen Mother gave Princess Diana a necklace as a wedding present. The piece, which featured diamonds and emeralds, was once part of Queen Alexandra's collection. In 1986, Diana was seen wearing it at a gala at the Vienna Burg Theatre. Diana also wore it to dinner at the Royal York Hotel in Toronto. And then after Diana's death, Camilla turned the necklace into a brooch, which she wears fairly regularly. Camilla wore the altered piece to an event celebrating Charles's 50th anniversary as the Prince of Wales. The piece is indeed being stored and is part of the royal collection. But that for me makes the fact that Camilla had it altered even worse. The Princess of Wales, Catherine, has also since worn it, but number one, Diana died before Catherine came into the picture. Number two, like Diana before her, Catherine is now the Princess of Wales. And number three, Catherine is Diana's daughter-in-law. Now, I may be wrong, but for me, Camilla wearing the piece is like sending a message. Look, I won. Now, I do not particularly like it. It makes me feel ever so slightly uncomfortable. How might William feel about it? Anyway, there are so many other pieces for Camilla to choose from. Why that particular one? Okay, now that is how I feel about it. How do you feel about it? Okay, guys, anyway, I'm going to run off and take care of other things, my nose being one of those, and I'll be back soon enough with other news, reviews, and entertainment. So until then, please take good care and stay safe. Bye.